Hi! In this video we're learning how to make this square. I'm going to be using my trusty 10mm hook and this little pink ball of yarn, and this video is dedicated to Ella, who really wants to learn how to crochet. We will use a looping method, so it's super easy for all absolute beginners. If you don't know how to crochet, this is how to do it. First, we're going to take our ball of yarn and put it in a little bowl, like so. So when we pull on the yarn from the ball, it doesn't escape off my table or your table. So here we go. We've got the end of the yarn and we're going to make a slip knot. If you don't know how to do it, there's another video on my channel. Please check it out. And I'm going to quickly do it here for you. So I'm just going to cross the yarn like so. So I've got the tail end here. I'm crossing the yarn and I'm going to pick a loop from the ball and just put it inside that loop and grab it here like so. You see? And I'm going to pull both tails together and see that loop is forming and cinching. Now I'm going to put it on my hook like so, and I will pull the end that it is attached to my ball of yarn like this. You see? And it just hugs the hook tightly, and I'll put it here in the middle. It's always more comfortable. So now we're going to chain. We're going to chain using a looping method. So rather than moving your hook like this, as you might have seen, we're just going to hold it straight like that, facing up. So I am facing the camera here, my hook is facing you, and we're going to just flop the yarn like so on the hook. You're going to grab that loop and pull it over the hook and just pull that thread or strand of yarn like so. See, you've got your first loop. We're going to do it again. So you're going to put this floppy yarn here, you're going to grab the loop and pull it over. And we're going to cinch a bit, and look, you've got two lovely chains forming here already. So we're going to do it again. You're going to pull that yarn, put it over your hook, and pull over. We're going to keep doing it until we have 10 chains. So if you ever lose count, you just look at your tails here and your chain, and we count those little V's. They are almost like arrows. See, they're pointing towards my thumb. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 4. I need 6 more. Okay, let's keep going. So this is my 5, 6. Here you can see, grab it with those fingers if you want to. 7. Pull it a little bit tighter. If the loops are uneven, don't worry, just keep going until you have 10. This will all even itself out later on. There's no worrying about perfection right now. See, mine is all a bit twisted and wobbly, but it doesn't matter. Now I'm going to count it because I don't remember actually how many I have. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh, look, I've got more. So I'm going to rip it. So I took off my hook and I'm just going to make sure I have that many. Yeah, just had too many. And my chain has twisted, but it's okay. I don't mind. I will make a square out of it anyway. So what will happen now, we're going to work into the second loop from the hook. And you can see it's this one. So see, this is the first loop, which is on the hook. And this is the second one. So you're going to put the hook through that loop. See, now we have 2 loops on the hook. We're going to do again the flopping. See, we're going to flop that yarn on your hook and just let it be. And you're going to pull that first loop here closest to your hook over. See? We again have 2 loops on the hook. Now we're going to flop that yarn again. We're looping it over. And now we will grab both of those loops and loop them over. And that's a first single crochet that you've made. You can see the ladder of stitches forming here, and that's US terminology I'm using. UK terms, that's a double crochet. So we'll do it again. We're going to look where our next loop is, which is right here, because this one we have the ladder in this stitch already, so we're working to the second one. Here we go. We're putting our hook in, we're looping our yarn, we're pulling over that closest loop to the hook. Here we go, we've got 2 loops. Now we're going to flop the yarn again. And if you want, you can do one after another. So for example, I could do just first loop and the second. Depends how fast you want to work. And then we just pull that yarn, and here our second ladder is formed. Look how beautiful it looks. So here we go. Where's my next stitch? It's a little bit looped over, but I'm guessing it's somewhere here. So I'm going to put my hook over like this, pull the yarn, and I'm going to grab both, oh no, sorry, just one, one loop over, so we can have two loops to create a ladder, because those two loops create a single crochet ladder. So I'm going to grab now two. There we go. And look at that. 1, 2, 3 stitches done. Okay, so loop over. No, what am I doing? Not loop over. We need to go to the next stitch. Here we go. Next stitch. Or maybe not this one, like this one. Here we go. So I'm going to just go in under that thread. If you don't know where to go, what you do is you just twist your chain and you just open it up like that. And you can see that here is where our ladder is. So we're looking into the next hole, and you put your hook through that hole like this. So okay, we have two loops on the hook now. I'm going to loop over. First, just take the loop closest to the hook over, and then we loop over again. And here we go, there's a ladder. Now the reason I'm making slight mistakes here is because I'm used to crocheting way faster with a slightly different method. So I have to stop myself as I'm working here with you. So we're going to put our hook first into our next loop. That's step 1. Step 2, I'm going to put the floppy yarn over and just take, oh, it fell down, see? Don't worry if it happens, just correct it. We grab that closest loop to the hook over our hook. We have two loops, excellent. Now we're going to put our yarn over, and I'm going to grab, or try to grab, both of those loops and put them over the hook. Now be careful so that yarn does not fall off your hook, because it's holding your ladder together. See, I'm just going to cinch it, and you can see up close how the stitches form. See, these are little ladders, and you can also see the beautiful, beautiful crochet V's here. These are your crochet stitches. Look how pretty they are. Okay, let's keep going. So my next stitch is here. This is my next stitch. I'm going to put my hook in, loop over, use that hook to over, yarn over again, and I'm going to pull both of these loops on my hook like that. See? Okay, no, not looping yet. Hook in the stitch first. See? I want to go too fast. So where's my next stitch? Right here. So I'm going to go in here, my yarn split. Sometimes it happens. If it happens to you, don't worry. Either back up or just keep going. No one will mind. Here we go. So I've got two loops on my hook. I'm going to loop over again. So see, it's hanging on. I'm going to grab those stitches. And even though they want to escape, I'm going to grab them and keep them there. So I have another, I think I have another 2 loops to go. Let's see. To go with my hook here. Off we go, we have 2. So first I'm going to just get that first one through the hook. I have 2 loops on my hook, and then we're going to pull both of them to create a stitch ladder. You can see it here. Okay, and I think this is my last one, so we're going to see how many stitches I actually have on my hook in a minute. So first, loop that 1, we have 2 loops, and there we go. I have finished a row of stitches. There you go. That doesn't look so bad, does it? So now I'm just going to chain 1. So I've just put the loop on my hook, and if you want to loop it over, you just pull the loop over the hook. See, and we've got chain 1, and we're going to turn our row like so. Here you go. Well done. You have made your first single crochet row. Now I'm going to show you how to find your stitches and to count them. See the top here, you've just twisted like this, and you can see your little arrows or V's, depending how you look at it. So this is a V, it could be an arrow if you look at it like this, and this is how you count your stitches. You look at the tops, and so this is my little chain that I made to turn my work. So I'm going to start counting here. Okay, this is my first actual stitch. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then this floppy 9 right here. And you can see my yarn split as I made the stitch. So it doesn't look so pretty now, but do not worry. We will work into that stitch at the end and nobody will be the wiser. And the beautiful thing is we have 9 stitches. We started with 10 chains, but because we worked into the second chain from the hook, that's why we have 9 stitches now. So we're going to keep going, and now you will know how to count your stitches as you go. We will make a second row, the same method, the same way. All we're going to do is now we're going to work into this very first stitch here. So we're going to put our hook in, and it is very important that you put your hook under both of the strands of the V, or under the whole full arrow, you see? So it's no longer that loopy thing right here. It's a full stitch, so it has 2 strands. So remember this, you turn your hook towards you, you flop the yarn, and we will grab that V, that little arrow, we're going to grab it and we're going to pull it over our hook, see? And now again we have 2 loops, which is brilliant, we know where we are now. So we're going to just flop the yarn again, and now we can grab both of those loops, and that's how we create our first ladder in this row. Here you go, it's right here. So now we're going to work into the next stitch. So again, we look where the tops of the stitches are, right here, and we work underneath them in this little hole. There you go, see? Now they're on my hook. I'm going to loop over, right here. I'm going to grab that arrow, or V, and I'm going to pull it over my hook, see? So now I have 2 loops, loop over the hook, and pull both loops, like so. And the next ladder is ready. So now it's going to become really easy, because the stitches we made last row are making our life easier. And we can see the holes where you need to put your hook in. Remember, just put it under both strands. So we're going to loop over, grab that V, pull it over. We have 2 loops, flop that yarn over again, and here we go. Both loops over, the ladder is done. So as we go, here we go. Next stitch, we have the V, we loop over, we grab that V, we pull it over our hook. We've got 2 loops, yarn over, grab the 2 loops, and pull over your hook. Now we find the next hole here. We put our hook under both strands of that V, loop over, grab that V so we can pull it over our hook. Here we go, yarn over, both loops over the hook. Now, where is my work? I twisted it. Here you go. You can see if sometimes this happens to you, you've twisted your work, you can see that this side where you've actually worked your stitches in is higher, thicker, has more stuff in it, basically. So we look into the next hole, hook under both of those strands of yarn, we pull it over our hook, we have 2 loops, yarn over, grab those 2 loops, and pull it over your hook. Okay, where we are, another few stitches, so I have 3 left. We have hook underneath the V's, we grab the V, pull it over our hook. We've got 2 loops, yarn over, pull both loops over the hook. Now we've got, again, hook into the loop, V over the hook, yarn over the hook again, and I'm pulling those both loops over the hook. And this is my last floppy stitch. You can see it, and this unfortunate bit of yarn that came out. But not to worry, look what's going to happen. I'm just going to put my hook, so I'm just going to grab it. If there's a strand, I'm just going to grab it together so it is a loop with the rest of the stitch, because you can see that's my yarn. here of the V. I'm going to flop that yarn here, and I'm going to grab that floppy loop along with the rest of the stitch. Now I have again 2 loops on my hook. I'm going to pull the yarn over, and I'm going to grab those 2 loops like so. And look, I've cinched it, and can you see the little strand sticking out anywhere? No, you can't. Look how pretty it is. Oh, I'm so excited. So this is how we're going to work, and we're going to work around 9 to 10 rows. So I'm going to turn over now, but to turn over you need to chain 1 more chain. So we're just going to put our, you can see, going to flop your yarn like so, grab the loop, pull it over. So now we have this extra chain that helps you to turn and twist your work. And this is how you're going to work. You're going to work the same way as we just did by putting your hook under the V, and here looping it over, grabbing the V. Ooh, I'm getting a bit lost here. See, I've grabbed the V, pulled it over the hook, got 2 loops on the hook. I'm pulling the yarn over the hook again, and both loops go over. And this is how you create your stitch ladders. So you're going to do this till the end of the row, and you're going to keep going, remembering to chain 1 chain at the end of the row, so to make this 1 single loop, so you can twist and turn. If you don't remember, just go backwards in the video and have a look again. And I'm going to meet you here again once we have 9 rows, and you count them by counting like so. You can see the stitch counts here. This is 1 row, this is row number 2. I'm going to see you in a minute. Now hello again. We have our 9 rows, and I'm going to show you again how I've counted it in case you've lost count of your own stitches. So you can see the bumps of the stitches right here. That's row number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 here. So you can see the back stitch is the same as here. So once we do the number 10, it will look exactly like this row of V's. So the V's are the front stitches, so you can see them facing you, and these are the backs of the crochet stitches. Now, to check if you already have a square, because you might have a square, I don't have a perfect square yet. You can see it's a little bit, well, it's not matching the sides. So is to fold, you fold it into a triangle. So you fold those edges together to make a triangle. And now you can see if you lift it, see, we have uneven edges. So I need at least another row here to make it an even triangle, maybe even 2 rows. Well, we'll see. My tension is quite a bit loose, so my square is quite stretchy and loose, because looping method makes for stretchier and kind of fabric that is kind of stretchy and almost more full of holes, if you can see, if I'm like pulling it like that. So you might want to cinch your yarn more as you work, and as you learn, you'll see how your tension looks like and if you have to pull the yarn more or not. So I'm gonna chain 1. See, I haven't done the chain to turn, so here's my chain. And I'm gonna work a whole row into that a whole row of single crochet stitches like we did before, just to see if it will make a perfect square or semi-perfect square, because no square is ever perfect really, but we'll see what we can do. So I'm going to pull those loops through. I'm going to remember, look at the top of your stitches to put your hook into the V, pull the V over the hook, 2 loops on the hook. Now we flop the yarn over and pull it again to create those stitch ladders. Now, I have not told you whether to loop your yarn like this or like this. And honestly, it doesn't matter. You can do it the way you like. I like to do it back to front, but a lot of my students do it like this and they prefer it. So, you know, whatever is suitable for you and works for you, that's fine. Just decide on one direction so your fabric has the same tension as you go. So you can see mine is quite loopy, and because I do it from back to front, it kind of creates a looser fabric, but it's fine. I like it like that, so it's fine. So I'm just going to keep going to the end of the row. And as you become more comfortable with holding your crochet hook, you might start experimenting with moving it around, seeing how you can hold it to make your stitches go faster. There's many different ways how you can hold your hook and how you can speed up. So instead of looping over, for example, you could just pull your hook underneath your stitches like that, and that would make the process faster. Now this is my last stitch, so again, hook here, I'm going to pull that V over, pull my 2 loops, and let's check if my square is any more of a square. It's a little bit better, so that's going to fold it. Oh, we might have a square right now. Look at that. Almost perfect. I think I'll stop here. So in order to finish this lovely square, and I'm going to show you what we've just made, this was my tea. We have just made a lovely coaster. So we're going to cut our yarn. Now don't take off your hook from, don't take the hook from the loop yet. No, hold it like this. Cut the yarn, and now you're going to use your hook to pull the yarn through the loop. And you're going to block your work like that. So you pull it, and then you pull a little bit more, and here you go. You've blocked your square. Look how beautiful it is. It's very nice and fluffy. And you can weave those ends with a needle, but I'm going to also show you how to do it with a hook. So my tail end doesn't stick at the end of the square. I want it inside. So I'm just going to put my hook randomly somewhere here through a hole. Okay, and I'm going to pull that yarn on it, and I'm just going to pull the loop over. See? Just pulled it through. Now I'm going to see, where is this yarn going? It's going somewhere here, so I'm going to find another hole, like so. I'm going to put my hook here, and I'm going to pull the whole square over it. See? Now, where else can I weave it in? Okay, I've got another hole here, and I'm going to pull that hook over. So this is going to be the front of my square. So I'm okay if there's a little end at the back. See? I'm just going to snip it like this. It's fine. Perfect. Or almost perfect. I like almost perfection. So we're going to do the same with this end. Here I'm going to stick my hook somewhere here, maybe first on the back side. So if this is your front side, you're going to turn it over. So this is my previous end. And we're going to put our hook like so we can weave it in. So I'm going to pull the yarn through. And I'm going to see on the other side, loop it over, pull that hook through. I'm going to go to another hole here, pull it over through here. So again, I remember this is my right side, this will face my cup. So I will work into another hole here, and I will cut it here. So this I might have cut a little bit too short, so I'll leave a little bit longer end so it doesn't weave itself out. But even if you, let's say, wash it in the laundry machine and one of those ends end up on the other side, you can just trim it and it will be fine anyway. So well done for completing the square, and see you in the next video.